Today we're talking about the future of the Sigma FP lineup and if we could potentially see a new Sigma FP. Now, a few weeks ago, I made a video talking about what we would like to see from a future firmware update with the existing FP and FPL lineup. But today we're going to talk about the actual FP camera lineup and the future of the FP lineup from an interview that had taken place with the CEO of Sigma. And I do want to give credit where credit is due. This interview with Mr. Yamaki, the CEO of Sigma, was actually, I believe, first from a publication out of Japan, but I'm going to be citing the interview from digitalcameraworld.com. And if you want to read the article, there's actually a lot of good information in there talking about the development of the Foveon sensor and the status of that development as well. But I'll leave a link to that article in the description below. Now, the future of the FP line was only one section of this article, and there's a couple of things that I want to talk about with that section of this article. One takeaway, and really some good news for FP owners, is that it seems that FP sales are actually up. Based on a survey that Sigma conducted, it seems that 43% of current FP users actually bought their camera within the last year, which is really good news because that means that sales overall should be up. Now, there's a caveat to that because a lot of that has taken place in the Japanese market as well as in China. And the only reason I point that out is because when Sigma is determining what to do with the future of the lineup, something you want to consider is how much global adoption the camera is having. So while sales are up in the Japanese market and again, maybe in China, it may not have as much global adoption. And so as we talk about this, keep that in mind. While sales are up, it may not be a global sale increase, but more regional based. Now, with that in mind, something that Mr. Yamaki states is that the decision for the future of the FP lineup has not yet been decided. Now, that could be in part to the lack of global adoption or not as much global adoption as they would like. But you also have to factor in that Sigma is primarily a camera lens company, and they are doing some amazing work when it comes to camera lenses. Just this year, we've seen the 50mm f1.2, we've seen the 28-45 f1.8, we saw the 70-200 last year. They're doing some amazing work when it comes to lenses, and so it should not be a surprise that as a company that's not primarily a camera company, they may not be super aggressive in making a new camera. So that's something to factor in as well. But the other thing to factor in is while the original sales numbers for the FP were really good, and as of late the sales are really good as well, there was a big dip in sales and in production at some point in the FP lineup, and that is probably due to the pandemic. It could be due to sensor shortage. There's a lot of things that could have gone with that, but they had a whole factory that was dedicated to the production of the Sigma FP, and Mr. Yamaki states that that factory was not operating because there was not enough sales to support the manufacturing. Now, they could have been doing other things in that factory, but the FP lineup was not getting manufactured due to the sales decrease. And so take all those points into consideration when Mr. Yamaki says that the future of the lineup has not yet been decided. But there is hope, and that is the last thing I want to point out with this statement, and that's the fact that he does say that he wants the lineup to evolve, or the company wants the lineup to evolve. In talking about a super modular camera, he says that we do want to evolve the lineup, and so that part really excites me. Maybe it does take form of something completely different than what we saw with the FP and FPL, but maybe it turns into something that we really want to see, like a full-fledged cinema camera, or maybe something entirely different. And so while no decisions have been made at this time about the FP lineup, I am excited to see what Sigma does next. And I think this is where discussion comes in. Let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see from the future of the FP lineup. Again, I'm really excited and I hope you are too. And so that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thank you for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Peace.